All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, YouTube? We're back with the Sunday night football breakdown here for December 3rd. We got the Chiefs heading in to face my Packers here in the frozen tundra. We woke up with snow on the ground, but I know everyone wants to know weather. Oh, it's snowing in Green Bay. Well, it's snowing right now. It's been snowing all night, but the snow is going to be cleared out by kickoff, so it should be no implications. They'll get the field cleared off. Weather should be right around freezing, right around 30, low 30s. Some light wind there in the forecast. No real effect for weather. I know we were talking about that pre-show before we jumped on here, Hamwich. But, man, happy Sunday. How we doing, man? Bring you in right away. How's your weekend been? College football, down goes Georgia. Roll Tide. I know everyone wants to talk about that. We got Florida State. We got Michigan, obviously, dusting Iowa. That game was pretty boring. I knew Iowa didn't have the offense to compete in that game. But this is NFL, man. How's your weekend? How's everything?
Yeah, weekend's going good. We'll find out here in about an hour who's in, who's out. So it should be good. Should be a good main slate. I built the winner. So tonight when this game goes off, you said you built the winner. I think I built the winner. Hey, we'll see. Hopefully one of us built the winner.
Hey, hopefully one of us built the winner. Hopefully one of us over here at SHIPIT Nation built the winner, whether it's us, whether it's Hoop from the field himself, from Ford Field there in Detroit, himself, Tambo, Title, anyone else on the team, or any members. Again, if you are not a member, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join the nation. Head over to shipitnation.com. Click on join now. You can get in weekly, check it out, see what it wants before you decide to join. Obviously, you don't get the Discord, which is the best Discord community in the industry, in my opinion, many's opinions. Obviously, incredible discussions, incredible things going on. No tilt happening in the Discord. Absolutely amazing community. If you do the weekly package, you don't get access to the Discord, but we do have monthly, 6-month, or yearly packages available as well. Weekly's there to give you a taste behind the paywall. Check out all of our content, projections, tools, everything we have before you do bite the bullet to hopefully sign up for a month, a year, or a 6-month package, because we do think it is the best place in the industry to join. Down in the comment section as well, hashtag SHIPIT, and drop your score predictions for tonight's game. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers right here on this channel. Once we do it, we are giving away an annual membership to the nation over here, to a lucky YouTube subscriber. So definitely do that. And down in the comments, if you guys do guess the right score, myself and Ham will give you guys a free month over here to shipitnation.com. Courtesy, you got to obviously note the winner and have the correct score. We like to give back to the people that support us on these shows. So we appreciate that a ton. How much? Let's jump right in right here. We got a decent game here tonight. 43 is the total. Green Bay, 6-point dogs here at home. Kansas City coming to town. Man, you look at Kansas City and, I mean, Patrick Mahomes kind of underwhelmed the last 3 games, right? Denver, Miami, Vegas, 20, 16, 8. He's up to 18-6 in the captain spot here. Projecting to get 20 to 30% ownership in the captain spot, probably shortly behind is going to be Travis Kelce. And then Pacheco. I was talking, man, you got Jordan Love at 14-4 with rushing upside here. You look at Jordan Love's game logs, it's better than Mahomes, I'll tell you that. He's got one game under 15 DraftKings points in the last 6 weeks. I mean, 14-4 for him with rushing upside here in a game that he is at home, right? I mean, he's a little interesting. You got Christian Watson in kind of no man's land at 10-2, sandwiched between a guy like Jaden Reed, who used to be the cheapest wide receiver. Now he's the most expensive wide receiver for the Packers. And then Romeo Doubs, who's draws a pretty good matchup here against this Kansas City secondary here. Pretty interesting captain spot here. Obviously, Pacheco, right? Green Bay can't stop any running backs. Pacheco still has to deal with Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit there. Obviously, we don't know if McKinnon's going to play here. I haven't seen any update on McKinnon. Obviously, we're doing the show Sunday morning here. But talk about the captain position. I think it's pretty interesting. I got my takes, but I want to hear your takes. Where are you going at the captain spot?
Yeah, my favorite captain is Pacheco. I think McKinnon's out, at least what I saw. They've already announced that he's going to miss. So it would just be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which I don't think is much of a risk. You beat the Packers on the ground, and Edwards-Helaire is going to touch it, I would say 20-plus times. We don't have the best conditions in the world, so give me some Pacheco as my favorite Chief. Certainly we'll have some of Kelsey. Certainly we'll have some of Mahomes. And the last Chief that I would have would be Mahomes' new favorite toy, in my opinion, which is Rashee Rice. All the way up at 12-6, though. It's kind of pricey, Nades. But I don't mind Rice in the captain spot. You nailed it for the Packers on the Packers side. Jordan Love has been good and has been really good the last couple weeks. We saw what he did on Thanksgiving Day, just shredding that Lions secondary, that Lions team. I think this is the kind of game, though, that, well, I won't say that. I will just say what I was going to say is you could play a defense and captain. I'm not going to go there. I do like the defenses tonight. I think this is not the same Chiefs offense that we've seen in years past. So I think the defenses are viable. We can talk about them when we get to the flex. I'm going to stop short of saying I'd put them in the captain, but I don't mind either defense tonight. We can touch on that here in a little bit.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown here for me. I got 4 guys that I'm going to be heavier on. I'm going to be a little bit under on Mahomes and Kelsey just because we see the same thing, right, with every single week, every single time the Chiefs. It feels like every game the Chiefs are on prime time, right? We're playing showdown. I mean, you look at Kelsey, the last 3 weeks, him and Mahomes have kind of underwhelmed here. I mean, you have to look back to week 7, right, against the Chargers, which obviously Chargers are terrible against the tight end, where he nuked, right? Denver is the stone worse, right? We're all talking about Brevin Jordan today. Kelsey only put up 12 points on Denver, right? The best matchup. Obviously, that matchup against Miami there. Matchup against Vegas, who Vegas bleeds points to everyone, 15 points. I mean, Kelsey and Mahomes are going to be the 2 chalkiest guys on the slate by far. They're also the most expensive, 17-7 and 18-6. I mean, you get a $5,000 discount almost, right? $3,000, $4,000 discount off of Mahomes going down to Pacheco. Pacheco's my favorite Chiefs guy by far. And then my second favorite guy is Rashee Rice, right? Rashee Rice has been the number 1 receiver all year, right? There's a remnants of Justin Watson, right? People are starting to say Justin Watson, all this, right? It's still Rashee Rice. He's the end zone guy. He's the red zone guy. Justin Watson's the burner. He's the long play guy, right? Which I think he's fine as a flyer at 7,800. But for me, I play 3 to 5 teams, pretty much similar to yourself. It's Pacheco, it's Rice for me. And then on the Green Bay side, it's Watson, it's Love, and then Dobbs would be my 5th guy. I'm just going to these other guys outside of the Mahomes and Kelsey's. I know Mahomes and Kelsey, obviously great plays. I prefer Kelsey if I'm going to one of them, but I know how it works. Every Chiefs game, those 2 guys are the 2 chalkiest guys, highest owned guys for a good reason, right? Because that's the one thing that's guaranteed, right? Mahomes like to spread it around, right? You got Watson, you got Scantling in the mix, you got Sky Moore, you got Tony, right? You got Blake Bell, you got all these other guys, right? Noah Gray. I'm just going to take my stance and go with Pacheco as my favorite Chiefs guy, Rice number 2, and then Jordan Love and Christian Watson, I think, is going to round up my top 4. What's your take on that? Do you agree? What are you looking at? Final thoughts on the captain position here?
Yeah, no, I think all the guys that you mentioned are viable. To me, my favorite's Pacheco. That's my favorite captain, but I think all the ones that you had mentioned are viable and in play. You'll love this take, and I think the Packers keep it close, if not win the game. I think they're 6-point dogs, but I actually like the Packers. I think they may just be getting it rolling at the right time. And we've seen this Chiefs team. They were down 14-0 to the Raiders and obviously came back and won. But I don't think, like I said earlier, they're not the same Chiefs team that we're accustomed to.
Yeah, I haven't been impressed with this Chiefs team. I mean, obviously got their doors beat off them by Denver, right? In Denver. Miami, which obviously everyone's been scoring on Miami. They only put up 21 points on Miami, right? Philly, obviously Philly's a great team, right? Best team in the NFC right now. Obviously, we got a great game between them and the 49ers today. Vegas just didn't have the offense to compete with, right? They're just a terrible team, but they jumped out to a 14-0 lead. I just haven't been very impressed with this Chiefs team all year long. I do think this is a spot here for the Packers, right? Everyone's going to say Homer, but the Packers have been playing pretty good football, right? I mean, you look at it, right? Beat the Rams 20-3, lost a close one in Pittsburgh, which is a tough place to play. They had many opportunities to win that game, right? You talk about the Christian Watson holding penalty that would have been a touchdown, right, at the end of that game there, or the push off in the end zone, right? That game could have easily gone the Packers' way. beat the Chargers right at home, and then went into Detroit on Thanksgiving and controlled the entire football game, right, against one of the best NFC teams in the league, right? Everyone's saying, oh, Detroit's going to the Super Bowl, making all kinds of jokes in that. I mean, I could see this spot where Packers at home in December, temperatures in the 30s, right? You got snow on the ground. They're getting it rolling. Jordan Love's finally getting confidence coming off back-to-back wins, beating a division rival on a primetime game where the entire country's watching after Thanksgiving. I do like the Packers to keep this game close. I do think they definitely have a chance to win this game. It definitely helps, obviously, that they're at home here. So I'm probably going to be a little bit heavier on these Packers guys in the captain spot here tonight, just because even if the Chiefs do win, I think these Packers being, I mean, look at, you got Jordan Love, $4,000, $4,200 cheaper than Patrick Mahomes, and the score, the total and spread would indicate that Packers are playing from behind. Well, what does that mean? Jordan Love's dropping back to pass, more upside there, more upside for him running the ball, which we've seen him take off when he's dropped backs, gets a little pressure, and he's picking up 10, 12 yards at a carry, right? We've seen him on Thanksgiving use his legs a lot, right? So I do like that. I think these Packers are just underpriced for the spot here tonight. Obviously on Thanksgiving, right? Jordan Love, 3 for 39, 2 for 11, 4 for 34, 3 for 21. I mean, he's showing his ability to get there with using his legs. So I like these Packers a little bit more. Everyone wants to say it's a homer take. It's not a homer take. It's just a pricing and ownership matchup standpoint for the way I see the game going. I think this game's going to be close. I don't think we're going to see a massive shootout here by any means. It's not because of the weather. I think the weather is going to be perfectly fine. It's just a December game, prime time in Lambeau, temperatures low 30s, upper 20s, right? And I think the Packers are just going to try and control the football game here and win it, keep Mahomes off the field. So that's kind of where I'm going. Let's jump into the flex position here. Obviously, you got the same guys up the top. Always want to bring up the defenses and the kickers, right? You got Butker and you got Chiefs, 4,600, 4,800. But then you drop down, you got Carlson at 4,400 and the Packers defense at 3,800, which Packers defense has been okay, not crazy, but 9 against the Vegas, right? 7 against Minnesota, put up 12 against the Rams, 5 against the Chargers, right? Talk about that. Obviously, they just broke the slate on Thanksgiving against the Lions. Talk about the defenses, the kickers, and then any of these cheap guys. A couple guys I want to throw out for you. Sky Moore projected to get a ton of ownership here, probably in the 30% range. And then another guy, Dontavian Wicks here, going to be probably pretty chalky here. Obviously, he's questionable right now, but he's just $800. When he was in there before injury, I mean, he was very, very involved, right, in the participation in terms of snaps, in terms of route run, in terms of targets. $800 allows you to go up a lot of ways. Everyone wants to obviously play Mahomes, Kelsey, Pacheco, those guys up at the top. You need salary saving somewhere. So hit on those two value plays that are kind of drawing all the ownership between sub 3K is Sky Moore and Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah, I'll start with the defenses. And I said it earlier. I mean, I like them both. I just think this game plays under. I think we've said that. It feels like we've said that every Sunday night. I just feel like it plays slower. It plays under. The Packers at 3-8, like you said, I mean, they were going up against the greatest offense in the history of the world, the Lions, on Thanksgiving, and they end up getting like 17 or 18. I think they could do the same here, right? In the snow, in bad weather, at home, big game for them. So I don't mind them at 3,800. And then this Chiefs defense has been really good all season long. They create turnovers. They create, pressure on the quarterback. Tough to run on them outside of the Eagles, and Jacobs busted a long one last game as well. But it's, over the course of the season, they've been really good. So I don't mind either one of the defenses. I would not put one in the captain spot. I mean, if you're doing a 150, you may put a couple in there. But I think they're both viable. And then the kickers, I would take Harrison Butker. I would prefer him over Carlson. He's been kicking better. Carlson, I think, has missed a couple over the last couple of weeks. You can double check me on that, Nades, if you don't mind. But don't mind either one of them really. But I would prefer Butker over Anders Carlson. Sky Moore, I just can't do it, Nades. I mean, he's 2,400 for a reason. He doesn't do anything. I mean, I think the highest amount of catches he's had all season is 3, and I get it. He's 2,400. I can't do that. Too much for me. what I would like, or who I would like in this game if he's back, which I think he is Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney's back, right?
Yes.
I think he is. Well, from everything that I've seen, he's back at 1,600. He's more of a gadget guy, but one that they scheme to try to get touchdowns to. So I like Toney over Moore. He's probably only going to play, I would say, 30 to 50% of the snaps. But if they get some gadget plays to him, he can get in the box for sure. And then the other, I guess, low owned, if you will, would be Justin Watson, 5,200. They throw it to him in the end zone. They look to him. I think he's got a good connection there with Mahomes. So don't mind Justin Watson at 5,200. Plus, it's almost a $3,000 discount over Rashee Rice. So don't mind Justin Watson in this one.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you. I like your take. I'm definitely Team Toney over Team Sky Moore here, especially at the ownership discount, the salary discount as well. We've seen Toney be a gadget player, right? He's not going to run a ton of routes, probably around 30%, roughly like that. But when he's out there, those are high routes run, right? He's usually pretty involved. Kind of that skill gadget, Mecole Hardman role that we've seen in years past. So I do like Kadarius Toney there at 1,600 if you need the value. Another value play I want to bring up is a guy $400 more, Patrick Taylor. He's not going to add a ton on the ground. This Chiefs team, I'm going to hit on it as well when I talk about A.J. Dillon here in a second. This Chiefs team, you can beat them on the ground, right? We've seen Jacobs bust out a run. We've seen DeAndre Swift have a good game. Looking at our DVP rankings up on site, that is the best spot to target against Kansas City is running backs here. I get it, right? People say the game script, oh, they're 6-point dogs at home here, blah, blah, blah. A.J. Dillon's dusty. He's fat. He's slow. He's all that. I'll hit on that in a second here. But Patrick Taylor, the reason I'm bringing him up is he's involved in the passing game here. So if the spread does play to how the game actually plays out, right, in the total 43, I expect him to get targets in the passing game, 4, 5, 6 targets, dump off. So pick up a couple carries here and there. And at 2K flat, I mean, if he gets in space, breaks a tackle, slips a runner, gets you out there, maybe goes, 3 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown, something like that. 2K, he's going to pay that off. So I do like that. He's sandwiched right between Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, who both are going to be higher owned, in my opinion, here, especially Sky Moore. Clyde Edwards-Helaire might pick up a little bit because he is the second running back there behind Pacheco there. I don't mind a little Patrick Taylor value play there. I do like that. I'm with you on Kadarius Toney. And then one play I do want to bring up, A.J. Dillon here. The reason I want to bring up A.J. Dillon is he's been involved the last 3 weeks in the passing game, right? He's not a huge I get it, right? It's A.J. Dillon. He's 7,800, but he's getting targets, so he's still getting points per reception there. He's caught all of his targets the last 2 weeks, 4 targets against the Chargers. He caught all 4 of them for 32 yards. He caught all 3 of his targets for 38 yards against Detroit. Kansas City can be beat by the run, like I talked about. And if you just flip the game script here, right? You flip the game script, A.J. Dillon's going to get very, very low ownership here. And if the game plays where the Packers, oh, surprise, surprise, right? Everyone thought the Packers were going to get blown out on Thanksgiving. If the game script flips here to the Packers side, A.J. Dillon is still the workhorse back. Patrick Taylor is not going to take carries from him. He got 14 carries the last 2 weeks. He's got targets in the dump off. I think A.J. Dillon is a nice contrarian flex option at low ownership, 7,800. It's not like he's 9K. It's not like he's 10K for some of these starting running backs like we've seen. It's an interesting play there. What's your take on that?
Yeah, he's going to be on the field, right? No Aaron Jones, so excuse me. I don't mind A.J. Dillon. He gets a bad rap, but man, if they get inside the 5, they're going to give it to him at least one time, if not 2. So certainly don't mind that play, and he's going to be he'll be low owned, I think, or lower owned anyway. So I definitely don't mind A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, excellent. I do want to bring up this trio. I'll kick it back over to you. I do want to bring up this trio of wide receivers for the Packers. Obviously got Reed, Watson, and Dobbs. They're all priced within $600 of each other, right? Dobbs, 6,400. 6,800 for Watson coming off that massive game, obviously there against Detroit, right, where he caught the 2 touchdowns. Hit on that, and then Jaden Reed is questionable right now. Obviously, if he misses, you're going to see Dontavian Wicks, if he's active, his ownership skyrocket at this price point. But hit on that, Jaden Reed went from being the cheapest Packers receiver pretty much all season now to obviously the most expensive. But I mean, his production he's getting carries, right? He's getting rushing end arounds, things like that. And he's getting the targets, right? 3, 5, 6, 8 targets in those last 4 weeks, with 2 touchdowns over that, 2 games in the 19 fantasy points, obviously 15 last week against Detroit. What's your take on this trio of Packers wide receivers here?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all viable. I mean, yeah, Reed, Watson, or Dubs. I mean, Watson's obviously the big play guy. Christian Watson, the big play guy at 6,800. And I know you may be going there next, but Tucker Kraft at 4,200 played almost 100% of the snaps last week. Short range throws on a DraftKings. I don't mind. I don't mind Kraft. I put him up there with these other guys in terms of just production. He's going to play every snap. Obviously caught a touchdown pass against the Lions. So I'm going to mix and match some Kraft with these 3 receivers. I think with Love, he does have some running upside. So I don't know, Nate, what do you think? I mean, normally we like to pair him with pass catchers. I would say definitely 1 pass catcher. I think I would even go 2. I don't think I would go 3 pass catchers, but what do you think?
You're talking Love captain builds?
Yeah, like if you had Love and captain, yeah, I don't know if I would go, I think 2.
I think I like it. Yeah, I think I like at least 1 because, like I said, he has shown ability to run, right? I don't see a ton of massive points. I mean, I don't think Green Bay is going to win this game by shootout, right? If it's shootout, I think it's going to be tough sledding here for Green Bay. So I just don't think you need to double or triple stack them. Obviously, I'm not going to create a rule or anything like that just because I don't like to create too many rules that box me out of combinations in Showdown here. But with the rushing upside, I do think you can get away with just 1 pass catcher. But a lot of your teams are still going to have 2, right? When you got a guy like Tucker Kraft, right, who's cheap. Dontayvion Wicks is cheap. You got this Ben Sims, backup tight end here. If Degura can't go, that did get a target last week. Obviously there, he's $200. So, I mean, you got guys, you got Malik Heath, right? 1K. He's been getting targets, 4 targets last week against Detroit. We didn't bring him up. He's been getting more involved. A guy like Malik Heath here. He's solely reliant, obviously, if Dontayvion Wicks is in, that kind of takes Malik Heath out of the role. But if Wicks misses again, Malik Heath's going to be that wide receiver 4, and he's been definitely involved and loves starting to build connection. We saw that last week against Detroit there. So I definitely like that take. Any final takes here in terms of this slate? I think we talked about it pretty good. Captain's obviously going to be heavily focused around Kansas City for a good reason, right? They're favorites here. But you could see the game script flip. And like I said, these Packers are very underpriced for the potential, right? And who knows? The Packers could win this game. I mean, you can argue Packers are trending in the right direction, and Chiefs have kind of been kind of limping along a little bit, right? So what's your final takes on this slate before we get it out of here?
Yeah, I think it's a grinded out type of game, 17-10, 20-13, something like that. I think it's going to be lower scoring, so that's why I don't mind the defenses, don't mind the kickers. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a variety of different ways you could go at captain. We'll have all our stuff over at SHIPIT Nation up here before you know it.
Yeah, we'll have all our stuff at SHIPIT Nation. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing main slate. Again, if you are not a member, shipitnation.com, join now. We got weekly, we got month, we got 6 month, and we got yearly package. Yearly is your best bang for your buck, takes it down to about $50 a month once you do the math out there, $52, $53, somewhere in that price point there once you divide it across the 12 months. Obviously, you got to pay it up front, but hey, gives you the opportunity to get in, learn with us, start building a better process, and become winners. You've seen the screenshots, you've seen the logos. We're starting to get the ball rolling here. The ball's been rolling. It feels like our guy D-Drive ships every other slate for 100+ K. So it's been an awesome time over here at the Nation. Tons of giveaways, tons of stuff like that. But again, if you guys are just viewers here on the YouTube, we appreciate you as well. Just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button before you get on out of here. Down in the comment section, drop your final scores. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sunday Night Football breakdown here between Kansas City Chiefs, my Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field here. Primetime game. I'm excited. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing Sunday, amazing main slate, afternoon slate. Hopefully everyone's shipping and we see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. But for Hamwich, I'm Nadesify. We're going to get on out of here. Good luck tonight in your contest. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. Let's ship it.